just like this, just like this, just like this. Pick it up, drop it low, pick it up, drop it low, pick it up, drop it low, pick it up, drop it low and pick it up, just like this.
G'day guys, it's Jazz, and today I have a DIY like ombre hair video for you. And I've had ombre hair for like 6 months now, it's like under a year, and I really like it. I really like having ombre hair, but especially because I have really dark hair, I would never dye the whole thing blonde or lighter because the roots would just be terrible. So I love how ombre hair is just like a thing right now, and you can make your hair lighter and just cooler but not have it look like gross. So I've ombreed my hair twice before now, and I watched every single YouTube video on ombreing your hair, and I read every single blog. Like, I did my research, bruh. I just didn't want to dye my hair and have it all fall off or go orange or something like that, if you know. Personally, I found out the best way to ombre your hair, the most like foolproof way without you know, turning your hair some horrible color. So if you want to learn how to ombre your hair, I just have a bunch of tips for you guys, because you know, I feel like I'm just this all-knowledgeable source now because I read everything on the internet. So you've come to the right place if you're also doing that and want to ombre your hair. So yeah, let's just get into our video. So the first thing with ombreing your hair is you have to pick a good dye. So when I went to the chemist or wherever you buy your products from, I was like, okay, I want to ombre my hair, and what do you recommend? And she said, with my color hair, you really have to take out the color, because my like thought was, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just like paint on the color, it'll be all fine, you know what I mean? I'll just like turn my hair blonde. But what you actually have to do is take out the color and make it blonde at the same time. So I bought this Nordic bleach stuff, and it's pretty intense bleach. Like, if you flip it over on the back, and it just has all the things, it turns black hair like pretty much the same color as what it turns blonde hair, but it won't damage your hair that much. Like, and you want it without the ammonia because it just stinks really bad, and apparently it's really bad for your hair. So if you can get it without that, that's preferable. So mine came with that, and my kit came with like the lightening bottles and gloves and stuff like that. So, you know, it was all good. And so then I read up a ton, like I read a ton of stuff on how to ombre your hair, and they all of them said different things, you know. They all said like, tease your hair, plait your hair, blah blah. So what I decided was the best method, like I was like, we're gonna do this right. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right, you know. We're not just gonna slap some dye onto my hair. What we ended up doing was we cut out some foils, and you want them as long as your hair, and then like three apart, so you can fold, you can have it all down the length of your hair, and then you can fold onto it, so it'll like keep the dye like on your hair and pressed on it. So I mixed two methods together, and what you want to avoid is just having the black and then the blonde, you know what I mean, just like the whole giant line in the middle. You want it to fade, because that's really what ombreing is. You want it to like fade from the dark hair to the light hair. And with my hair, it kind of, you can't even tell, kind of, because I don't know, depends what you think, but it fades. It fades from dark to light, and so if you go like this, it's really easy to tell the color difference. But otherwise, it's kind of, I would call it natural. Obviously, people know it's not natural, but you know, it's not giantly obvious. So the two methods we used was you tease the hair, and you also put more dye at the bottom, and then you just like brush it up gently so that there's more dye at the bottom and less dye at the top of your hair. So what we did was we got the foil, and we took a small section of hair, like just a little bit, so then you have more control over how much dye you're putting it on. And another thing I would recommend is just getting a big group of all your friends, because it made it so much more fun, and it's like more of a bonding moment with you and your friends. It was just lots of fun. And so then I took a small piece of my hair, and then you take the foil, and then you squeeze the dye at the bottom of the hair. Don't squeeze it at the top. You squeeze the dye at the bottom of the hair, and then you pat it down the bottom, and then you stroke upwards. So there's more dye at the bottom and less dye at the top. So then the bottoms of your hair will be like more coated in dye and will go blonder than the hair in the middle of your strand, if that makes any sense. And then you just want to tease each strand of hair before you do that. So then all the hair will be at different like lengths, if you know what I mean. And then when it's unteased, it'll just like fall, so then the dye will kind of be like this on your strands of hair, so it won't just be like a whole block of color. So when I took it out, and you want to work from the like evenly around your head, you don't want to start here and like work your way around, which was a mistake we made, because the dye, it does take a bit of time, and then by the time you've come to this end of hair, the dye's already been sitting in this side of your hair for like 20 minutes. So when you take it out, it'll be like blonder on this side and darker on this side, which is bad. So you want to work around this way. So do the front and then work your way to the back, and maybe put more on when you get to the last ones, or what we did, because we did this after. So what we did is we took out the ones we did first, and then we washed them out. We kept these ones in, and then we gradually worked our way around until my whole head was like, had no more dye in it. And then you want to follow the things on the label, and mine came with the purple conditioner to tone it, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. And the last tip I had for you is, when I bought my dye, there were two types of dye I could buy. I could buy the ones that turn light brown hair blonde, or I could buy the one that turns black hair blonde. And I decided to go with the brown hair, the brown hair, even though I don't really have brown hair. Because then, I didn't even realize this till after, but I think the reason my hair didn't go really orange was because we used the light brown dye, so it wasn't going to turn my hair completely like bleach blonde. And that's what I like about it. It's only a couple shades lighter than my hair, if you can see. So it's not like blonde. It's not like blonde, but it's more of like a brown kind of color. And then yeah, I just really like that a lot. And yeah, I'm not even late yet. I still have 3 minutes to get there.
Have you left your house?
Yeah. Okay, I'm late. Okay, but yeah, buy the dye that's not maybe for your black hair, but for your brown hair, and I think that looks a lot more natural, and it'll just be better for your hair. But yeah, I wish you guys luck if you're going to ombre your hair, and it's just so perfect for the summer. And if you just want to lighten your hair without having like horrible regrowth and just sucky things like that, I love my ombre hair, and I just think it looks good, and it's kind of edgy, but for the less edgier girl, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I wish you guys luck if you're going to ombre your hair, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, bye!